Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Today, we're going to talk about how the right service-based business model can elevate your business to six figures. There's a couple different models that we're going to break down in this post. And I literally ripped this post right off of Done For You because it's one of our most trafficked articles. The thing is, when you pick the right business model, you're able to go after bigger fish, you're able to make more money, and you're able to do so more consistently. You have a higher quality of life, if you will, because it's more of a lifestyle based business. You might only work with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people. You won't necessarily be working with 20, 30, 40 people at the same time. But this is also a service business. So you need to make sure that the service that you are offering is something that your prospects need, they want, and they value. There are 5 different service business models that I want to talk about. The first is the hourly model, is where you get paid by the hour. Now, hourly sucks from a service-based standpoint because you are always going to be trading time for money. Now, sometimes time for money is okay, like when you're making lawyer fees, $250, $300, $500 an hour. Time for money works okay then. You can work a couple hours, make $1,000 doing $30K a month with 2 hours per day if you're charging $100 an hour. So that hourly based model works out pretty well. Now, the retainer model is where you offer packages of hours. So you might say that you, Mr. Client, are buying 30 hours of my time over the next 6 months. And those 30 hours are going to be packaged up in between calls, maybe some on-site visits, or maybe some contract work or whatever. So it really just depends on how you want to structure those hours so that your clients are getting what they pay for. Number 3 is the monthly model, where you receive a monthly fee. So the monthly fee says that in exchange for your monthly fee, I am going to do A, B, and C. And as long as what I'm doing falls into A, B, and C, then the monthly model covers it. You can think of Netflix a little bit. So Netflix charges $20 a month or $25 a month, and you get access to all of the programming inside Netflix.com. Now, of course, that's a terrible example because your services are much more high-end than Netflix, but you can think of a website management contract. So for $1,500 a month, you're going to get access to A, B, and C. I'm going to update your website. I'm going to add new pages. I'm going to blah, 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 whatever. And you pay me $1,500 a month, which is cheaper than what somebody is going to go hire somebody for. So they're not going to be able to go find a web developer who they're only going to be able to pay $1,500 a month and have that web developer be happy. So you're able to fulfill that service for 3 or 4 or 5 clients, and you make a great living, and all of your clients get cheaper web development services than they would if they hired somebody full time. So it's the monthly model. The performance model is where your rate depends on the results. The performance model is where your rate depends on the results. So let's say you own a printing company, and that printing company builds postcards or direct mail letters to send out to prospects. You might, rather than take an hourly, a retainer, or a monthly model, you might say, you know what, I want 20% of all business that this direct mail gets you, and then you collect that at the end of the month. So that's a performance-based model. And because you are paying for the postage and the stamps and the labor and the paper and the printing presses and everything else, as long as it works, you're going to make far more out of that deal than if somebody was to come to you and you were just to bid it out. You're going to make far more on performance because your stuff works. And the client has paid nothing up front. So all of the risk is on you, and you also deserve a greater payout for that. And then the 5th model is a project-based model. That's where you work on a proposed project or you work on some sort of a deliverable. So you can think building a new home, the general contractor is making X, and they are subbing out the plumbing, the electrical, the drywall, all of the basement, all that stuff. They're subbing it all out to subcontractors, and they're the ones that end up generating most of them. So the project-based model. So those are the 5 service models. that you can choose from. And you can also pick and pull from different ones. Now, the hourly business model is not easy to scale. Like I said, time versus money. So the amount of money that you're spending on a project means you can't be generating revenue from that somewhere else. So you're only one person and there's only so many hours in it. So from a pro standpoint, there's some flexibility. It's very popular. It's the best way for a new client to get to know you. The cons are it's difficult to scale, and sometimes you need to demonstrate the value, and you work first and get paid after. So those are some cons. The retainer model involves signing a contract for a certain number of hours. When the hours run out, you bill your client for additional package of hours or additional hourly or whatever. When a client hires you on retainer, it's like topping up their account credits. Some of the pros. This is applicable to most service-based businesses. It gives you predictable income to a certain degree. It's a good option for ongoing monthly services, and it's a better value than hourly pricing. The cons, however, are limited scalability. Like with the hourly model, you need to track time and you need to demonstrate the value. Option number 3 is the monthly model. So the monthly model involves charging clients a monthly rate for ongoing work. Accountants or SEO experts frequently do this kind of work. This income formula is best when repeatable tasks need to be done every month, like creating backlinks or doing on-page search engine optimization for a particular keyword. Pros, it's suitable for any service provider, really. It's best for ongoing work. It's best for steady streams of monthly income. It builds up trust and a sense of security. And you can also work together with other service business models. So you can throw this one in a couple different areas. And there really aren't that many cons with this one. So the monthly model really is one of the best service models that you can employ to generate revenue. Now, the performance-based revenue model pays out really well when the thing you do is actually working. So this one has a lot more downside to it as a service professional. So pros are it can yield much, much more than other models. You can mitigate the risk if you receive an upfront fee, and it is best for expert service providers who know they can hit the results. The cons are it takes some time to bear fruit. You're not in control of other forces that might affect the results. You might not be aware of a client's business situation, and this is the super, super hard one. Without doing full due diligence, like you were buying the business, it's hard to figure out if the client can actually handle that kind of performance or if the risk is all on you. And the general risk is you're not going to pay it at all. So performance-based, you really need to have a lot of trust in that relationship. And then the project-based model. This is building something big, knowing it's going to take a bunch of months or a bunch of time in order to do it. It's going to take a lot of professionals to be able to do it, and you're going to be able to deliver on time. So the pros are it's suitable for premium services that you can package together. You can create a higher value. You can create higher revenue compared to the hourly model. You can get part of the payment in advance. You get better allocation of resources. The cons are it is easy to underestimate the workload. In fact, when I first got started with project-based work, I would think however long I think it's going to take, and then I would multiply it by 0.7. So it was going to take 100 hours, let's say, to do. I would say, I'm going to plan on this taking 170 hours to accomplish. And most often that 170 number was actually much closer to the number that it actually was. And another con, big projects can stall. When you have a big monumental task like this, it's a slower moving ship. So those things stall. So you need to know how to jumpstart those projects and how to carry it across the finish line. So the question, how to choose the perfect business model for you? Really depends on your comfort level. It depends on your confidence. It depends on things that really only you know. So I would say that once you get some good hourly projects underway, move to the monthly option. Once you get some good monthly projects underway, then think about maybe moving to performance-based. But the monthly option is really the middle of the road. It's the perfect service engagement that will build your business with continuity income, baking in that lifestyle that you want. If you'd like to learn more about setting up a coaching and consulting business, go to donewithyou.com/plus and get free access to our membership community dedicated to entrepreneurs building a lifestyle business like this. And if you want these kind of tips and tools in your inbox, go to getshitdone.io, fill in the little opt-in form, and we'll make sure to send this out to you through email. If you like this video, make sure to comment and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know below, and I will talk to you soon. All right.